Welcome, everyone, to the Dr. Blue Duck podcast. Is TikTok and other short form videos on social media actually ruining the attention span of young kids, causing them to be less interested in video games? I mean, is social media and TikTok really doing something to the brains of kids, causing even a video game to be too boring for them? Is their attention span getting that short? Now, obviously, gaming is still super strong with kids, but what we're actually seeing is that kids today are spending more time on social media, such as TikTok, and less time gaming. Now, this can be alarming for dads out there because kids, even young kids, can be spending a shocking amount of time on TikTok and other social media apps. A national representative study, part of the ABCD study, revealed that 68.2% of US children under the age of 13 reported using TikTok despite the platform's minimum age requirement of 13. And if you're not familiar with it, the ABCD study is the largest long-term study of brain development and child health in the United States. So short-term video content can cause dopamine overload, which triggers a release of dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. This constant stimulation can overstimulate the brain, diminishing the pleasure that comes from everyday activities. And excessive consumption of short-form videos has been linked to changes in brain activity, making kids more impulsive and less sensitive to consequences, which leads to an association with addictive behaviors. So overall, kids might be becoming so impulsive and impatient that they don't even like regular video games anymore. And regular video games might just be too slow and too boring for the modern kid who spends a lot of time on social media. Now, as a high school art teacher, I see this with a lot of my students out there. A lot of them, when I ask them what are they going to do over the weekend, they don't say I'm going to play a video game or I'm going to watch a movie or anything like that. They say I'm just going to chill on my phone. And they tell me that's how they spend most of their time, just chilling in their room, just playing on their phone, watching social media, just surfing through the short form videos over and over again, hours and hours a day. Even in the sort of video games that kids prefer to play now, they're preferring Roblox over Minecraft because Roblox has so many more short, fast-paced games in it where Minecraft kind of requires a little bit more building. And even games like Fortnite that so many kids play, they're choosing to play Blitz Royale versus the other modes because there's less buildup, there's less time that you have to invest. So Blitz Royale, if you're not familiar with it, the matches only last about 5 minutes, if even that. Now, when I was a kid, one of the best things for me was that I lived probably about 45 minutes out of town. So my parents had to drive a good distance to a decent sized city. And I would sit in the back seat of the car without a Game Boy, without a TV, without an iPad, without a phone. And I would just look out the window and I would just look at things and I would think and I would use my imagination. Now, I think there's something powerful for kids being bored. When you are bored as a kid and you're not constantly stimulated all the time, something happens in your brain. You are forced to entertain yourself. You are forced to be creative. And what we see with a lot of kids out there today, they never are forced to be creative because they are never bored. Now, they might say they're bored, they feel like they're bored, but in reality, they're not. There's always something stimulating them. There's always something trying to entertain them. They are not just on a 40-minute car drive. They are not just sitting on their front porch looking at the sunsets. They're not doing any of those things. They're not just laying in bed quietly. They're always being entertained by something. If it's a Tony's box reading a story, if it's the radio in the background, if it's the sound of the TV, there's always some type of stimulation going on where kids can't just sit and think and be bored. And I think that is causing a lot of issues for the creativity in kids nowadays, where they don't know how to create, they don't know how to be original, they don't know how to come up with stuff and think. And now with social media such as TikTok and other very short form videos, they don't even know how to sit and pay attention to something longer than about 6 to 8 seconds. They are that deprived. Their attention span has been ruined to that degree where video games are no longer entertaining for them. Movies take too long to get started, and they're definitely not reading any books these days. So what can we do as gaming dads out there? Well, we don't want to get rid of gaming altogether, because gaming is great. We like gaming. This whole channel is for gaming dads. So maybe we can inspire or encourage our kids to play games that do require a little bit longer concentration, that do require some puzzle solving skills, that do require some buildup, stuff that's not just instant gratification, stuff where you really have to work and pay attention and really build it up for a while. Now, we know what games those are. There's a lot of games like that. They're the games that are a little bit slower paced. And I think those could actually be good for increasing the attention span of kids these days. Now, obviously, there's certain movies can help do that too, where the kids really have to pay attention as the plot builds up. And definitely reading is one of those things. Like, reading really helps the brain do that. But since this is a gaming channel, I'm talking about gaming here. And we as gaming dads can encourage our kids, or even play with our kids, the video games that do encourage a longer attention span, that do encourage problem solving skills, that encourage them to have to kind of use their brain a little bit more carefully for creative thinking. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. Let me know what you think. Is short form video content ruining gaming, or ruining a lot of things? Okay, we'll catch you guys next time. And as always, be kind, use your mind, and game on.